welcome to a new episode of the Hero Wars Jungle. We received a new hero and his name is Cascade, a water element titan. Is he a big storm or just a little raindrop? His abilities are as always unique and we have to find out how he works. Especially his new way of grouping the enemies catches the eye. And his rainy cloud looks interesting too. Let's start with his screen skill, the Tidal Wave. He dashes through the enemies and the enemies will be grouped. Then he comes back, but his position changes. Important fact, during this movement he is completely out of the game. And his blue skill depends on this movement. On the way back he puts a kind of curse on the enemies which lasts for 8 seconds. When your cursed enemy gets damage, and it doesn't matter if it's a friendly damage, he will get an additional attack with the same damage type. Mystery heroes are generating bigger hits, so that should be this synergy effect. Maya and Heidi have high periodic damage attacks called Poison. We see here their low ticks. Cascade uses his green skill and groups on his way the enemies. On his way back he uses his blue skill. And now the low ticks do suddenly extra damage for each tick and also with the same damage type. The other damage types will be affected by the defensive values, so it's a big boost for them. Unfortunately, 8 seconds are not much time, and only Maya's rooting ability with a high cooldown has a good timing with his Tidal Wave. Now to the complicated part, his Violet skill. Once you have understood this, it's pretty easy. The first part, armor penetration and magic penetration, are always equal for him. If you increase one value, the other increases too. That is a very amazing behavior. The next part, his basic attacks are changing their damage type, dependent on the defensive values of his target. Sounds complicated, but it's very cool. Andvari has a high armor value, but a low magic defense value. So Cascade uses now a magic attack and he does the full damage. It's like he looks for the weak point. Very interesting, his attacks are always calculated with his physical attack value. If you increase that value, your magic attack increases too. You see here always a physical attack. That is also done by Cascade, and it's the last part of his Violet skill. If he penetrates the hero, the other type appears as an extra attack, but Andvari has a high armor value, so the damage is reduced. Nevertheless, you get some extra damage, and the craziest part happens when this second attack penetrates the enemy too. You will get a third pure damage attack. Julius has lower defensive values than Cascade's penetration values. Boom! That's a heavy hit. 150k with one basic attack. And his sudden armor generates for all these extra attacks again extra attacks. That's very nice. Last but not least, his ultimate. Again, very complicated text, but easy to understand. Ignore at first all the damage. It's so low. We get 4 attacks within 4 seconds. During that time, our magic heroes silenced and agility heroes blinded. Very nice. The defensive values of strength-based heroes are a little bit reduced. You find the respective icons here. The damage type changes only for agility heroes, but again it's extreme low. It has only a good effect with your own sudden armor. Now Cascade uses his tidal wave, and everyone has a negative effect. He uses now his ultimate, and each attack generates the additional attack. It could be better, but there's one way to make that really great. You are right, with Fafnir, and best case with Tristan. The synergy between Fafnir and Cascade is super bad, and the devs made it on purpose. But this one move is awesome. Look at first at Fafnir. He forges the sword buff, but Cascade doesn't want it. The buff goes into the Nirvana. Tristan benefits from the grouping effect too, because he has little area attacks. And now Cascade uses his ultimate together with Fafnir's buff, and look at the damage. The small hits are converting into strong attacks. That is super crazy. So much damage exactly in that time while they are silenced and blinded. And here an example how it looks like if you have the double sword buff on your Cascade. Amazing. But it's getting crazier. The additional Soden armor attacks receive the extra damage from Fafnir too. Oh man, Fafnir, you big doomed hound. Other options. I like the Orion Nebula combo. Orion's early and consistent penetration buffs are great, and we can boost Cascade's power with Nebula. Boom, what a crazy hit. Unfortunately, Cascade is too wild and he misses the next boost. But the next one is great too. It's a one shot at Judge, and it was at least a 130k triple hit. The next setup with his mystic friends, but don't be too euphoric when you see this here. I was very impressed by that result. It worked all the time. It's really so strong. Now Cascade is using his ultimate perfectly. He blinds also Artemis, so she would miss her ultimate. Great. And Satori killed all. Wow. But it worked only in that setup and it was more luck than anything else. I have to disappoint you. I couldn't find other great setups, so I looked at some royal defenses, but build your own opinion. The great Heidi Satori synergy. Mashi Mojo. That was my favorite thought at first, but it was not so great. Amira Mystic Power. Maya with Fafnir. Looks not so bad, thanks to Fafnir. Again a Heidi Cedric combo. Kayla Fafnir. Yeah, he can avoid sometimes the damage, but he is too squishy and his family is too slow for assist, and in comparison to the current meta, very weak. I guess we will see some Mystic reworks, then it could be totally different, but at this moment not very good. Let's see what Nexus will do. Stay tuned. Peace.